Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer, and I'm going to be your guys' show host. We have a very exciting episode for you guys. We are going to be covering Caitlin Clark making history with the first triple-double, Wimbledon update, NWSL update, the Team USA roster for the Japan All-Star Series, and make sure you guys stay till the end of the show to hear about Brittany Howard's retirement in the PWHL, and also how PWHL Toronto did with their team dynamics last season. Before we begin, I wanted to ask you guys to like and follow the show, and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. Also, we do get a lot of questions that come from viewers during the show. So to ensure that your questions get read on the air, I ask that you use the link gsmcpodcast.net. This was your questions at the top of the list so that I see them, and of course, it also really helps the show. Again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net. Now, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy today's content. Okay, so we're going to be starting the show by talking about Caitlin Clark. Y'all know I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. She's a literal beast, and she can shoot literally anywhere on the court. She's known for her three-pointers, but she literally will shoot them all the way from half court. So I'm like, do we even call those three-pointers anymore? Like, she is such a beast. I love her. Anyway, so she made history on Saturday by recording the first triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. Just for a little recap of the game. So on Saturday, the Indiana Fever beat the New York Liberty 83-78. Clark pulled down her 10th rebound at the 7-minute, 7 seconds mark of the fourth quarter, giving her the triple-double. She finished the game with 19 points, a season-high tying 13 assists and 12 rebounds. Clark reached the triple-double in the 22nd game of her WNBA career. It was also the first triple-double in Fever history, going back to the launch of the franchise in 2000. Clark had 17 triple-doubles in her college career at Iowa, and the Hawkeyes won all of those games. Clark may have been the first rookie to record a triple-double, but, she's not the first player to do it this season. Alyssa Thomas, who also holds the career record for triple-doubles, has 2, and Lyshia Clarendon recorded 1 for the Sparks, bringing the total for the season to 4. Clark is the 16th player in WNBA history to notch a triple-double, and I honestly thought it was more than 16. But it's not, so that's something that I was a little bit shocked about, but it's super cool that she is 16th player to do that. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first on July 27th, 1999 with 14 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists when she played for the Houston Comets. She got a second in 2005. Margot Didek, Lisa Leslie, Deanna Nolan, Tamika Johnson, Mariah Jefferson, Courtney Williams, Satu Sabali, Sugg Sutton, and Clarendon each have 1 triple-double, while Courtney Vandersloot and Chelsea Gray each have 2. Sabrina Ionescu and Candace Parker have 3 each to tie for the number 2 spot, but Thomas is far ahead of anyone else with 13 triple-doubles, which is insane. 13, that's crazy. Clark, though, was actually more excited about the fact that the Fever beat the Liberty, ending the franchise's 9-game losing streak to New York. Clark and the Fever had lost 3 times to the Liberty earlier this season, 2 of them in 36-point blowouts. During the post-game conference, Clark said, quote, "I'm just happy we won. I take a lot of pride in being able to do a lot of different things for this team. I think we're really good when I can get the ball off the glass and just go and transition and find my teammates and set them up. We're definitely playing good basketball. We're playing together better, but I think the biggest difference for us has been when teams make runs, we don't crumble. We always believe we're in the games," unquote. This is huge that Clark was able to secure a triple-double as a rookie. She's currently in the race for Rookie of the Year with Angel Reese, and Reese right now is tallying 13 consecutive double-doubles, which is a WNBA record. So Reese is making WNBA history right now, and because of that, she's been making a good case for her to become Rookie of the Year. But now with Clark's triple-double, she has definitely shown that she deserves that Rookie of the Year award as well, and has made even more of a name for herself. Indiana Fever coach Christy Side said about Clark, quote, "First and foremost, she is the most competitive human being I've ever met. I really compare her to Diana Taurasi. She's always looking to find ways to get better. How can I help the team? What can I do? She found a rhythm tonight. The timing for her players is getting better every game. Those passes that she was making early, we just weren't ready for them. Now the chemistry is there, the timing is there, and that's going to keep getting better. She just wants to win. To me, she's going to be my Rookie of the Year every day," unquote. So We know that Clark has been getting lots of attention and has stirred up a lot of drama, not intentionally, but that's just what happens when you get a lot of attention in the media, unfortunately. And that issue has been going on since the WNBA preseason. Jason Whitlock of Blaze TV's Fearless discussed the anti-Caitlin Clark propaganda campaign to once again publicly minimize the significance of Clark. I've talked about this multiple times on this channel that, I'm a Clark fan, but I also do think that there's other people that deserve attention as well, but we can't minimize her talent. That's what I don't like. Is when you start bringing other people down to make her seem better, or the opposite way around, if that makes sense. That's just what that irks me, and it's not helpful to the women's sports at all. Just by looking at Caitlin Clark's stats, though, you can't argue that she isn't one of the best rookies in the league, if not one of the best players in the league. She has made a huge difference in the league. We know that. I'm not saying others have not, because so many other vets and rookies have made a huge difference in the league, but I'm not a fan of the whole anti-Caitlin Clark propaganda, because it's really mean, and honestly, I think she just wants to play ball. I really don't think she feeds into that drama. I also wanted to mention Clark's possible Olympic appearance. She's on the All-Star team, so we would definitely see her compete against the current Olympic team roster. But, unfortunately, Lynx standout Nafisa Collier left Thursday's game with a foot injury, throwing her Olympic status into question. Minnesota did not really provide much details on Collier's injury, but she was unable to play on Saturday. If Collier is unable to play in Paris, though, someone else will move into her Olympic roster spot. The question is, could Clark be next up? Clark is considered an alternate for Team USA, but her selection would not be likely in place of Collier. Though the players are similar in stature, the 6'1" Collier is a forward, while this 6' Clark is a guard. Sun center Breonna Jones, who stands at 6'3", is also among the top alternates and could be a more natural fit. I see them going with Jones more than Clark, just based on position-wise. It's more ways than one it might benefit Clark to simply sit out the Olympics. She's played basketball nearly nonstop since November 2023, thanks to the way the WNBA season directly follows the college basketball schedule, and she's dealt with a skyrocketing public profile at the same time. The Olympic break should give her some time to recover both mentally and physically. While nothing's guaranteed, it would be pretty surprising if Clark wasn't a future Olympian. She has a chance to be part of Team USA in both 2028 and 2032, and her current trajectory should put her on track to be a lock for the roster 4 years from now. That might make it more worthwhile for her to wait to make her Olympic debut, Clark didn't say she was disappointed when she was left off the initial roster in June, and instead treated the decision as an opportunity. The last thing I wanted to mention regarding Caitlin Clark, and this kind of goes to what I was just saying with her responses to things, is I wanted to spotlight her humility, because I am so utterly impressed with how professional and humble she is as a person and as a professional basketball player. At post-game conferences, I am in awe of her just based on her humility and professionalism. After the game on Saturday, Clark said, quote, 13 assists, that means that my teammates made 13 shots on my passes, so that goes to them, unquote. And then teammate Elia Boston said, quote, she's humble, isn't she, unquote. And then Clark also has really good responses in general. After the controversial flagrant foul by Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky v. Indiana Fever game a little while ago, Clark was asked what was going through her head, and she basically just said that she was focused on making the next 2 free throws. That was a perfect response. She could have made some drama and talked about the foul, but instead she focused on basketball and moved forward and just kind of redirected the media to the actual game rather than some drama and beef that would have started a whole other thing. She's been really good at taking down questions that seek drama and things like that. So we're now going to move into the next segment. As much as I would love to keep talking about Caitlin Clark for the rest of this hour, cannot do that. So we're going to talk about the Wimbledon update. So if you're interested in women's tennis, I recommend sticking around. Before we get into that, we are going to be taking a very short break. So I will see you guys all very soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please,
wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. Some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
I'm so sorry, guys. I just realized that my mic was muted this entire time. I sincerely apologize. Oh my goodness, that is not good. Oh my goodness, I'm really sorry about that, guys. We are going to, I'm just gonna basically repeat everything I just said. And this is gonna unfortunately be in the live, is me. Anyway, okay, so basically about, Iga Swiatek, we're starting with her. You would think that Iga Swiatek, the world's #1 women's tennis player, would easily advance past the third round of Wimbledon. After all, she had just secured her 4th French Open win in June and was riding a 21-match winning streak. Surely the Polish superstar could handle the number 35 ranked Julia Podeseva. That's actually incorrect. Swiatek fell to her opponent from Kazakhstan in 3 sets, 6-3, 1-6, 2-6. Wimbledon continues to be a challenging tournament for her as she has never progressed beyond the quarterfinals. She said, quote, going from this kind of tennis where I felt like I'm playing the best tennis in my life to another surface where I kind of struggle a little bit more, it's not easy. All that stuff really combines to me not really having a good time in Wimbledon, unquote. Swiatek has limited experience playing on grass courts and has yet to win any tournament on that type of surface. Also, she did decide to skip preparation tournaments on grass leading to Wimbledon, a decision made by her and her coaching staff due to her recent French Open victory. Despite the early exit, Swiatek remains confident in her decision and is focused on the rest of her year, which I think shows a lot more to her character and passion for the sport, because she's not giving up, and that shows a lot of motivation, determination she just has in the sport in general. She said, quote, you never know, I could have got injured in the second match because I practiced straight away after Roland Garros in that case. I think my coaches are pretty good at planning. They chose the right option for this year, but we'll see what's going to happen next year, unquote. And then also pretty shocking, Coco Gauff was also eliminated in the first week. Rather than despairing over the upsets in the women's draw at Wimbledon, Coco Gauff believes the tournament's entertainment value has never been higher, and she really just focused on that in a lot of her interviews, which really shows a lot more to her character as well. Reputations have mattered little at this year's grass court major. Out of 13 women's Grand Slam champions who began the tournament, only 3 remain standing at the end of Sunday's play. Elena Rybakina is the sole remaining player who has experienced the thrill of holding the Venus Rosewater dish. The other 2 survivors, Jelena Ostapenko and Barbara Kreskova, are in the top half of the draw with Rybakina. Sorry, I sincerely apologize for mispronouncing anybody's names. This guarantees at least 1 new Grand Slam finalist from the bottom half, where the highest seed left is Jasmine Polini at 7th. Gauff tipped as a future Wimbledon champion ever since she stunned Venus Williams in the first round of the 2019 tournament as a 15-year-old. We'll now have to wait at least another year, unfortunately. The U.S. Open champion was unexpectedly out by compatriot Emma Navarro on Sunday. Considering that both of the top 2 seeds are out before the quarterfinals, with world number 1 Iga Swiatek falling in the 3rd round, like I said, Gauff advises against placing too much emphasis on seedings. And she is right. We do really look at that, but it doesn't, at the end of the day, we all get shocked by who ends up coming on top sometimes, and that's because we have this whole mindset of looking at seedings when it's should we really be looking at that all the time? I don't know. Gauff said, quote, I played so many slams where anybody can win. The seed is just a number, just an advantage, so you don't play another seed in the first round. That doesn't mean you can't lose, as we've seen a lot of seeds drop out. We've seen defending champions drop out. Even though the unseeded players may not be as well known, they're incredibly talented. Fans of the game can be disrespectful towards other players on tour. Maybe the ranking isn't there, but their level is. They're here for a reason. They deserve their spot. There's no easy draw. This is a competitive sport, and we all want to win, unquote. This year, Wimbledon has underscored the fact that with the last 7 editions led by 7 different players from 7 different nations, if that makes sense, the era of repeat champions like Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf, Venus Williams, and Serena Williams seems to be fading. Gauff said, quote, when you see 7 different champions in the past few years, it shows there's much depth in the game. I think it's great. It makes the sport entertaining. There are no easy matches. It pushes me as a player to want to be better, unquote. Also, let's talk about Danielle Collins. Danielle Collins made headlines at Wimbledon with a passionate defense of female tennis players, urging her fellow athletes to embrace and support each other against being unfairly labeled as emotional on tour. After securing a straight sets victory over Beatrice Haddad-Maia, Collins set up a 4th round clash with former world number 1 Barbara Krejcikova. I'm sorry, I literally am so bad at pronouncing her name, but if y'all keep up with tennis, y'all know who I am talking about. With the 30-year-old Floridian hoping to reach the quarterfinals at Wimbledon for the first time in her career. Collins has only reached the last 8 of the Grand Slam once before at the 2020 French Open. Now in what she has announced as her final year on tour due to battling 2 chronic health conditions and a desire to focus on her family, she has a strong chance to make a deep run at the British major, with none of the top 3 seeds remaining in her side of the draw. Collins, who will retire at the end of the season, delivered a passionate and explicit plea for unity among her peers. And I mention explicit here, and because there are no foul language in this channel, I'm going to be using F beep. Okay, so I think you can predict what word I'm trying to say here. Okay, so she said, quote, I try to keep everyone as entertained as possible throughout my career. From graduating college to now, I've always brought passion. We get framed as emotional and frustrated and this and that, and I'm just like, F beep that. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'll always wear passion. As women, we should really embrace that, support each other, and use that passion to ignite ourselves. I think that's a lot, unquote. Despite her strong form in 2024, which saw her climb back into the world top 10 before dropping 11 just before Wimbledon, Collins has no plans to reconsider her decision to quit professional tennis. She remains focused on her performance at SW19, acknowledging the unique challenges Wimbledon presents. She added, quote, I've gone far in other slams, but I haven't gone far here, unquote. Also making headlines right now is Emma Navarro. Emma Navarro was already enjoying an excellent season before Wimbledon began. The 23-year-old clinched her first title in Hobart and made a breakthrough at the French Open by reaching the 4th round. Despite this, many doubted her potential for a deep run at Wimbledon due to her lack of experience on grass. However, she has defied expectations by advancing to her maiden Grand Slam quarterfinal after overcoming U.S. Open champion Coco Gauff in London and defeating 4-time Grand Slam winner Naomi Osaka in the 2nd round. Navarro's improving results this year indicate she will be a force in women's tennis for years to come. Here's why Navarro's rise is a significant positive for women's tennis. Over the past 2 decades, there has been a clear shift towards baseline hitting in both men's and women's tennis, with most players aiming to overpower their opponents. Players like French Open champion Iga Swiatek and Coco Gauff rely on their athleticism and powerful baseline game. In contrast, Navarro offers a refreshing alternative. While she can step into the court and hit through the ball, Navarro compensates for her lack of blistering power with other qualities. She employs heavy topspin on her forehand to push opponents back, making it difficult for them to strike through her. Additionally, she frequently changes the pace of rallies with her backhand slice and effective drop shots. Navarro's proficiency at the net honed through regular doubles play adds another dimension to her game. Her precision in ground strokes was evident against Gauff at Wimbledon, where she consistently targeted Gauff's weaker forehand. Just a very smart player. Navarro's diverse skill set creates a complete and varied game, contrasting the dominant power hitting style and enriching the overall viewing experience for tennis fans. Navarro's journey also highlights that players can succeed without turning professional immediately. While some young talents like Coco Gauff manage early professional careers well, others may benefit from developing their skills and maturity in college tennis. Navarro played at the University of Virginia from 2020 to 2022, following in the footsteps of Danielle Collins. As a freshman, she won the NCAA Championship singles title in 2021, earning a wild card in that year's U.S. Open. Navarro has spoken about how her college experience made her a better player in person, underscoring that there are multiple paths to success in professional tennis. Emma Navarro's rise is a testament to the evolving and diverse landscape of women's tennis. Her unique playing style, calm demeanor, and non-traditional path to professionalism contribute to a richer, more varied sport that continues to captivate fans worldwide. The last thing I wanted to talk about regarding Wimbledon is that there was a dress code issue that forced female tennis stars to return to the locker rooms to change their sports bras, highlighting the, how do I say this word? Oh my gosh, rigidity. I can't say that word. But rigidity. Okay, you get the point. Of the rules at the iconic Grand Slam. The All England Lawn Tennis Club, or AELTC, has long demanded all-white attire extending even to undergarments. Though these rules were relaxed last year to allow dark colored clothing underneath, following players' complaints about anxiety related to menstruation, the situation was vastly different a decade ago. Women's tennis star Sabine Lisicki recalled some of the past controversy during Amazon Prime's coverage of this year's Wimbledon. Lisicki, currently on maternity leave, said, quote, "There was a year when a lot of players were sent back because their bras weren't completely white, because they stuck out a little, even though they were skin colored," unquote. She mentioned that Serena Williams was one of the people that were affected by this. This incident likely occurred during the 2014 edition, where similar controversies arose. Female players were astonishingly instructed to compete without sports bras. With British star Naomi Brodie being a notable victim, Brodie played her second-round match against Caroline Wozniacki without a sports bra, losing in straight sets. At that time, the rules stated, and I'm quoting the rules here, quote, any undergarments that either are or can be visible during play, including due to perspiration, must also be completely white except for a single trim of color no wider than 1 centimeter, unquote. Former Wimbledon champion Pat Cash was outraged, calling the decision by the All England Club, quote, absolutely ridiculous. He told BBC Radio 5 Live, quote, some of the girls have been told to go back and change their bras and tops because they have slight color on them. I believe some of the girls didn't have suitable sports bras and had to go without them. It has absolutely gone ridiculous, unquote. In response to these stringent rules, Venus Williams once threatened to wear an animal print beneath her white kit, but later backed down, admitting that the white attire is a nice change from the rest of the calendar. However, in 2016, she wore a pink bra during the win over Elise Mertens in the first round, resulting in a quick wardrobe change after a short rain delay. When asked about the incident, Williams responded, quote, yeah, so I don't want to talk about undergarments. It's kind of awkward for me. I'll leave that to you. You can talk about it with your friends. I'm going to pass, unquote. Male players have also faced issues with the dress code. Roger Federer was told to ditch his orange-soled Nike shoes in 2013. This year, Novak Djokovic was allowed to wear a gray strap on his knee following surgery, saying, quote, we're trying to find a white one, trust me, I like to go all white and respect the rules, unquote. The strict dress code at Wimbledon has long been a topic of debate, and while changes have been made to accommodate player concerns, it remains a unique and sometimes controversial aspect of the prestigious tournament. I think the strict enforcement of the dress code, such as players being sent back to the locker rooms to change their bras because they weren't completely white, or being forced to play without suitable sports bras, just is pretty ridiculous, and it's just kind of out of touch with modern sports and society in general. In my opinion, Wimbledon should continue to evolve its dress code to better align with contemporary values and the needs of its players. This doesn't mean abandoning tradition entirely, but finding a middle ground where the tournament's history is honored without compromising the athlete's comfort and respect. The recent rule changes are positive steps, but more can be done to ensure Wimbledon remains a prestigious and welcoming event for all players. I understand the point of dress codes, I do, but I feel like you can't just limit to like just white sports bras, because that's just not like really convenient at all. And like white sports bras are not the most flattering. I'm trying not to say this without being too like much, but it's just, they typically don't have as much coverage, is basically what I'm saying. And yeah, but I understand the point of dress codes, but I do think they can evolve this a lot more. I have a lot more to say about this dress code. If you guys are interested in hearing more about my opinions, I will be down to talk about it in another segment, so leave a comment and I will definitely get back to you on that. So we're now going to move into the next segment where we talk about some NWSL updates. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about some Wimbledon updates, and now we're going to do some NWSL updates. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about 1, Julia Grosso signing with the Chicago Red Stars. 2, Racing Louisville is struggling to move towards the playoffs. And 3, the NWSL Championship will be held at the CPKC Stadium. So let's start with Julia Grosso here. Okay, so Canadian international midfielder Julia Grosso has signed a 3-year contract with the Chicago Red Stars. Internationally, Grosso debuted in the Canadian system at 13 years old for the Canadian under-15 women's national team in 2014, going on to play for the under-17 and under-20 national teams, earning her first senior CINWNT call up ahead the 2 friendlies against the United States in November 2017. Grosso recorded her first cap November 12, 2017. The Vancouver native was named to Canada's 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup squad, but did not register any minutes before the CINWNT exited the round of 16. Part of the CINWNT roster for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Grosso scored the penalty kick that won Canada the gold medal. This is where, I don't know, at least for me, is when I became to recognize her name. I mean, back in 2020, I wasn't really paying too much attention to Canada football because I'm more focused on the US's, but I think that after this penalty kick thing, I think we all were like, oh my gosh, who is this girl? if you didn't really know who she was. I think this is when she really got her name out there. In 2022, Grosso scored 3 goals in the CONCACAFW Championship Tournament, with her first 2 goals coming in the form of a brace against Trinidad and Tobago. Grosso's 3rd goal came against Panama, was the game's lone goal, and qualified the CINWNT for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. In 2024, Grosso had appeared in 5 of Canada's 9 matches, converting a penalty kick in Canada's April 9th shootout against the United States, and most recently starting in the CINWNT's June 1st friendly against Mexico. On the club level, Grosso joins Chicago from, and I'm so sorry if I'm saying this incorrectly, Juventus FC, of the Serie A Women's League in Italy. The midfielder spent an impressive 3 seasons with the Italian side, winning the 2022 Coppa Italia Series A League title and the Supercoppa. In Grosso's 2nd season with Juventus, the Canadian was named the Serie A midfielder of the season with 4 goals and 34 matches across all competitions. Grosso made 76 appearances and scored 10 goals over her time with Juventus. Grosso previously spent time in the U.S. at the collegiate level for the University of Texas, scoring 21 goals across 60 appearances for the Longhorns between 2018 and 2021. Chicago Red Stars general manager Rich Husfew said, quote, "I'm happy to welcome Julia to Chicago. Julia's experience with Juventus FC and internationally with Canada will be a crucial addition to our midfield. Her background with a top European club, combined with her knowledge of North American soccer, will help strengthen the backbone of our team as we strive to reach new heights," unquote. And then Grosso said, quote, "I'm thrilled to be joining the Red Stars and can't wait to hit the field every weekend and give it my all. I've heard that Red Stars fans are super passionate, so I'm excited to be a part of that. I'm looking forward to playing alongside the talented players in Chicago for the rest of the season and beyond," unquote. During the Olympic break, the Red Stars will participate in the 2024 Summer Cup and take on New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC in their first match of group play, July 20th. In my opinion, Julia Grosso signing with the Chicago Red Stars will significantly enhance the team. Grosso's extensive international experience, including scoring the winning penalty for Canada at the 2020 Olympics and her participation in multiple FIFA Women's World Cups, brings invaluable leadership to the Red Stars. Also, her vision, passing accuracy, and ability to control the tempo of the game will help the Red Stars dominate possession and create more scoring opportunities. I think her versatility allows her to play in various midfield roles off midfield is what I meant to say. She has versatility that allows her to play in multiple midfield roles, offering tactical flexibility to the team. Having played and excelled in high-stakes matches, including Olympic finals and World Cup qualifiers, Grosso's experience in handling pressure situations will be a significant asset. I believe she can mentor younger players on the team, helping them develop a winning mentality. By integrating Grosso into their squad, I believe the Chicago Red Stars will not only bolster their midfield, but also gain a player with a championship pedigree and a wealth of international experience. Her impact will be felt on both ends of the pitch, making the Red Stars a more formidable team in the NWSL. And they're already really good right now, but this definitely will enhance the team a lot more. just by bringing in new experience in general, it enhances the team. So moving on to our second topic, North Carolina defeating Racing Louisville 3-1 after going behind, leaving the visiting team even further away from the playoffs. What looked like a pretty promising match day for Racing Louisville FC turned into a nightmare at Wake Med Soccer Park. Guys, I am so sorry. After opening the scoring in the 31st minute through Riley Turner, the team saw the North Carolina Courage score 3 goals in the space of 14 minutes to turn the game 3-1. That's insane. Scoring 3 goals in 14 minutes that's pretty dang impressive. The defeat was a heavy blow for Racing, who went into the game hoping to break a 5-match winless streak. In the first half, Racing Louisville showed organized and efficient soccer. The lead taken by Turner's goal brought temporary relief. Turner, who knows the stadium well, having won an NCAA championship there in 2022, showed coolness and precision in scoring. Turner commented, quote, "Back in goal, I know that a quick touch and a shot probably won't be expected. The ball got past me and I just saw an open space and I just took a shot. It was great to be back on this pitch and score a goal, so definitely good memories," unquote. However, the second half brought an unexpected twist. The Courage came back from the break with renewed energy and a ferocious attack. In the 55th minute, the home team tied the game, igniting the crowd and putting pressure on Racing Louisville. Just 6 minutes later, the Courage turned the tables, and in the 69th minute, they consolidated their victory with a 3rd goal. It was a real blackout for Racing, who were unable to contain their opponents' attacking just prowess and skills in general. Racing Louisville interim coach Carmelian Moscato expressed her frustration after the game, saying, quote, "It was definitely a tale of 2 halves, very disappointing. Nobody is happy with what just happened. This league break is coming up and we need to fill our cups and get back," unquote. With the loss, Racing Louisville entered the NWSL summer break on a 5-match winless streak, but still just 2 points off 8th place, the playoff cutoff line. The second half performance was a point of reflection for the team. Defender Aaron Wright said, quote, "The biggest lesson, can we do the performance we did in the first half and the second half of the game? And I think on top of all that, like, this game meant more to us, so not getting the results for both of us hurts more," unquote. And yeah, I do really agree with Wright. Like, sometimes you play an amazing first half, but can you do that in the second half is the question. Or can you maintain some sort of that power in the second half? That's where it gets you on the teams. Racing Louisville's once promising campaign now finds itself at a crossroads. With 16 points and a record of 3-6-7, the team urgently needs wins to keep their playoff hope alive. The sequence of negative results is worrying, especially given the numbers of goals they have conceded, 10 in the last 5 games while scoring only 4. The impact of the absence of head coach Bev Yanez, who left for a family reason, has also been felt. Carmeliana Moscato's leadership, albeit on an interim basis, will need to find a way to reorganize the team and regain the players' confidence. I think that's what might be hurting them the most at the moment. The league's break comes at a crucial time, offering an opportunity for reflection and adjustment. For Racing Louisville, the challenge now is to use this defeat as a catalyst for change. The league break can be a change to adjust tactics, recover players, and enter the second half of the season with a renewed mentality. With the return of key players and the hope of a more consistent performance, the team still has time to turn the tide and fight for a place in the playoffs. The third thing we got to talk about is NWSL announced that the 2024 championship is going to be held at CPKC Stadium in Kansas City, which is the world's first soccer stadium built for a women's professional team. Open in March of 2024 on the Berkeley Riverfront near downtown Kansas City, CPKC Stadium is equipped with state-of-the-art amenities designed to enhance the player experience. With a capacity of 11,500 fans and no seat more than 100 feet from the pitch, the stadium sets a new standard for women's sports venues worldwide. The NWSL has had soaring attendance, viewership, and engagement in the 2024 season to date, breaking all previous records. For the 3rd consecutive season, attendance has surpassed 1 million fans, breaking this mark earlier in the season than ever before. And broadcast viewership to date is up to 95% from the 2023 season, which is so incredibly insane. Additionally, as engagement on league social platforms continues to increase, NWSL social impressions have risen 94%, while retail performance on NWSLshop.com has jumped nearly 300%. That's like the most shocking to me. So I'm very happy about it though. NWSL Commissioner Jessica Berman said, quote, CPKC Stadium epitomizes the explosive growth and investment we are witnessing in the NWSL, women's soccer, and women's sports around the world. It was a natural choice to stage the league's mark event in a venue that exemplifies the profound impact of infrastructure, investment, and community support on the continued development of success of our sport. We thank the KC current organization for their partnership in bringing this event to their community and look forward to celebrating the 2024 season finale in November, unquote. Kansas City current co-founder and owner Angie Long said, quote, we are so excited to host the World at our home. CPKC Stadium is the first stadium built for moments like these. We're excited to show everyone the unparalleled match experience in a stadium for players, fans, and those watching on TV. It is an honor to host the NWSL Championship, and Kansas City is ready for the moment, unquote. Co-founder and owner Chris Long said, quote, the NWSL Championship is one of the premier global sporting events in the world. We're absolutely thrilled that Kansas City and CPKC Stadium were chosen to host this prestigious event. The world will get to the opportunity to experience our world-class, precedent-setting stadium and watch the most elite soccer talent in the world compete to be in the top club, unquote. In my opinion, hosting the 2024 NWSL Championship at CPKC Stadium in Kansas City is a fantastic decision that highlights the progress and respect for women's sports. This venue, designed specifically for a women's professional team, offers state-of-the-art amenities that will greatly enhance the player experience and provide fans with an exceptional viewing atmosphere. This choice sets a new standard for women's sports venues, showcasing a commitment to providing top-tier facilities for female athletes. Hosting the NWSL Championship here not only celebrates the advancements in women's soccer, but also serves as an inspiration for future generations of players and fans. I believe this move underscores the league's dedication to showcasing the best of women's soccer in a premier, purpose-built environment. So we're now going to move into the next segment where we talk about the Team USA roster for the Japan All-Star Series. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows. Available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about some NWSL updates, and now we're going to spotlight the Team USA roster for the Japan All-Star Series. So the U.S. women's national team is in Japan this week, playing a 3-game exhibition series against the Japanese national team as part of the Japan All-Star Series. A matchup that features the two teams that played for the gold medal in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Each of the games in the All-Star Series are being played in different cities around Japan. The team began its training camp on Wednesday, June 26th, and capped off the camp with a pair of exhibition games against number 13 Great Britain on June 29th and the 30th. The games were a part of back-to-back triple headers that featured the Oklahoma City Spark, the U.S. U18 WNT, and the U.S. and WNT that will be competing later this summer at the WBSC World Cup. The U.S. Elite team then made the trek to Japan for a 3-game series against world-ranked number 2 Japan. The games already took place from July 6th to the 8th, and we will be recapping them next episode, so stay tuned for that tomorrow. Now let's talk about who played on the team, because I always think it's important that you know exactly who is on the team. So let's start with the infield. Let me pull up the pictures here. Okay, so in the infield, we had Sis Base, Janae Jefferson, Tyree Jennings, and Jessie Warren. Sis Base is 26 years old and graduated from Washington in 2020. Last year, she was part of the team that won gold in the 2023 Pan American Games, hitting 6 for 12 with 1 double, 4 RBI, and 5 runs. 5 runs scored, and was in the 2023 World Cup stage event. And there she hit 7 for 11 with 1 double, 1 triple, 4 RBI, and 4 runs scored. Janae Jefferson is 25 years old and played for UT Austin until 2022. She was also on the Pan American Games team and had 11 plate appearances and 1 RBI. The year before, at the 2022 WBSC Americas qualifier, she was a gold medalist and hit .5 with 5 RBI and 13 runs scored. We all know Tari Jennings. I am a huge fan of hers. She just graduated this year from the University of Oklahoma, being part of the team that won the Women's College World Series for the 4th time in a row. She was part of the Japan All-Star Series team in 2022, and there she hit 148. She has improved tremendously since then and has really made her name known. Lastly, Jessie Warrens is 28 years old, so one of the older players on the team. She graduated from Florida State in 2018, and this is her first time being on the national team. It's cool that she's sort of making her debut now in her life. In the outfield, we have Maya Brady, Jada Coleman, Amanda Lorenz, and Haley McClenny. Maya Brady played for UCLA and graduated this year. She played at the 2023 World Cup stage event and tallied 5 RBI and 4 runs scored. In 2022, she played in the Japan All-Star Series and hit 4 for 8. Jada Coleman just graduated from the University of Oklahoma this year with Tari Jennings. This marks her first time being a Women's Elite team member, but being on the Sooners women's softball team, she has a lot of accomplishments and clout. Amanda Lorenz is 27 years old and played for the University of Florida until 2019. In 2022, she was a World Games gold medalist and hit 5 for 17 with an RBI and runs scored, and was a WBSC Americas qualifier gold medalist, hitting 11-19 with 1 home run, 7 RBI, and 10 runs scored. In 2023, she was on the Pan American Games team that won gold and hit 6 for 15 with 2 home runs, 6 RBI, and 12 runs scored. Lastly, in the outfield, Haley McClenny is 29 years old and played for the University of Alabama until 2016. She was a 2020 Olympic silver medalist and part of the 2023 Pan American Games team. For catchers, we have Mia Davidson, Savannah Janquist, and Jaja Milipola. Davidson is 25 years old and graduated from Mississippi State in 2022. In the 2023 Pan American Games, she had 9 plate appearances with 1 home run, 3 RBI, and 3 runs scored. Savannah Janquist is 29 years old and graduated from LSU in 2017. She has been a consistent player on the national team. During her 2023 season, she was on the Pan American Games team, hitting .273 with 1 home run, 4 RBI, and 3 runs scored, and played at the World Cup stage event, hitting 5 for 11 with 1 double, 5 RBI, and 4 runs scored. Lastly, Deja Milipola is 26 years old and graduated from the University of Arizona in 2020. She is known for being a 2020 Olympic silver medalist and being successful in home runs. At the 2023 Pan American Games, she recorded a total of 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 9 runs scored. The team only has right-handed pitchers, which actually it was a little bit shocking because I always feel like every team, every professional league has like one left-handed pitcher at least. It kind of gives some versatility and some pizzazz to a team, but I mean, it's okay to only have right-handed pitchers as well. These pitchers are Megan Ferramo, Ali Carta, Carly Hoover, and Rachel Garcia. Megan Ferramo played for UCLA until 2023. She was a 2022 World Games gold medalist and 2019 WBSC U19 Women's Softball World Cup gold medalist. Ali Carta is 31 years old, making her the oldest player on the team. She graduated from UCLA back in 2015. She was a 2020 Olympic silver medalist and had 17 strikeouts through 13 innings in the 2023 Pan American Games and had 19 strikeouts in 12 innings pitched at the 2022 World Games. Carly Hoover has been in the Japan All-Star Series in 2018 and had a 1.5 ERA with 3 strikeouts and 4 hits allowed in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Lastly, Rachel Garcia is 27 years old and graduated from UCLA in 2021. She was a 2020 Olympic silver medalist, 2018 WBSC Women's World Championship gold medalist, and 2022 and 2023 Pan American Games gold medalist. Most notably, in the 2023 Pan American Games, she went 2-0 in the circle with 2.25 ERA and 12 strikeouts and 9.1 innings pitched, and hit 7 for 13 with 2 home runs, 6 RBI, and 3 runs scored. The utility players are Ali Carta and Hannah Flippen. Flippen is primarily known for playing in infield, but she is put on the roster as a utility player. Lippin played for the University of Utah until 2017. She was a 2022 World Games gold medalist, hitting 3 for 12 with 2 home runs, 4 RBI, and 4 runs scored. She also played at the 2023 World Cup stage event, hitting 7 for 20 with 1 double, 7 RBI, and 6 runs scored. And thank you to Forever Liberty for listening for the first time. I appreciate it. I love when everybody, if you're a first-time listener, if you leave a comment, that's super fun if you do that. So thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you soon. Forever Liberty. Okay, so that concludes the roster for Team USA softball going into the Japan All-Star Series. But let me just go over the coaches before we move into the next segment. Heather Tarr is the head coach. She was the assistant coach at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. She was the head coach in multiple tournaments where she led the team to gold, 2022 World Games, 2019 WBSE U19 Women's Softball World Cup, and 2022 WBSE America's Qualifier. She also was the head coach of the team in the 2022 Japan All-Star Series. The assistant coaches are Kyla Holas, Jimmy Coladas, and Tim Walton. The team clearly has a very solid and secure coaching staff. So we're now going to move into the next segment of our show, and we're going to talk about PWHL, some updates on that. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We're just going to talk about the team roster for Team USA in the Japan All-Star Series, and now we're going to talk about the Professional Women's Hockey League, or PWHL. We are going to be talking about two things: Brittany Howard's transition from player to coach, and PWHL Toronto's team culture. So let's begin with Brittany Howard. Also, I did receive a comment, wasn't Beasley cut from Buffalo? And apparently he is finished with Buffalo. I'm not really sure about the entire situation there, to be completely honest with y'all, but yeah, that's what I heard, is that he is done on there, unfortunately. So going on to the PWHL though, Brittany Howard recently retired from playing in the PWHL to become head coach of the under 16 and under 19 girls team with the Pittsburgh Penguins elite organization. That is an adorable team name. She will also work as the skills development trainer for the UPMC Lemoyne Sports Complex. Howard is returning to a place she considers a home away from home. She studied at and played for Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh, a 15-minute drive from where she will be working, earning a master's degree in leadership and an undergraduate degree in sports management. As a player, she was the team's MVP 3 times, Player of the Year in 2017 and 2018, and Pittsburgh Sportswoman of the Year in 2017. Howard was drafted by the Buffalo Beauts and the National Women's Hockey League, but opted to play with the Toronto Furies and the Canadian Women's Hockey League in 2018 to the 2019 season. She joined the Premier Hockey Federation for the 2022 to 2023 season and was the leading scorer for the Toronto Six, who won the 2023 Isabelle Cup. An 8th round pick in the PWHL draft, Howard had 8 points in 23 games in the league's inaugural season, but the coaching bug never really went away. Howard said, quote, this opportunity was one that I couldn't pass on. It hit all the key markings to make me make a tough decision to hang them up, but also obviously I'm getting old, so you never know when your time is going to be done, she said, unquote. It was a tough decision. Quote again, she added later, my bad. It was a tough decision, but I'm excited for the opportunity ahead. I've worked in skills development for the last 10 years alongside my playing career. To be able to go to the rink every day and be on the ice with the kids and teach them the game of hockey is something that I really enjoy doing, unquote. Despite what sort of appears to be an early departure, she is proud of her time in the PWHL, and Howard said, quote, I was lucky enough to be drafted to a place that's close to home and have my family and friends come to watch me play throughout the season. We had an incredible year in the inaugural season, and that's something that is only going to happen once, unquote. So now I'm going to talk about the PWHL Toronto. The inaugural season of the PWHL has wrapped up, providing a chance to reflect on what we've learned about all 6 teams, particularly their culture and identity. Today we're going to deep dive into what PWHL Toronto developed in their first season. Their key staff was General Manager Gina Kingsbury and Coach Troy Ryan. The team leaders were Blair Turnbull, Jocelyn Larocque, Renata Fast, and Natalie Spooner. In Toronto, the team's identity was really clear from the start, a squad loaded with national team management and talent, making it the most Canada-heavy group in the PWHL. The familiarity among players and Coach Ryan initially gave them an edge in team chemistry. However, after losing 4 of their first 5 games, the team's unity was tested. They leaned on veterans like Larocque, who stated, quote, maybe it's good to go through adversity now, unquote. Defender Fast added, quote, the confidence never wavered. We'd lose and be disappointed, but felt it was coming. It never felt like a switch was flipped, just progress each game until we hit that win streak, unquote. Natalie Spooner's immersion as the league's leading scorer boosted Toronto's confidence. Her energy and optimism, along with her goal-scoring prowess, were pivotal in their success. Coach Ryan emphasized the importance of the trust within the team, highlighting the leadership group's role in maintaining communication between players and coaches. Coach Ryan said, quote, our identity comes from the people in that locker room. With leaders like Larocque, Fast, and Turnbull, I never worry about the right things being said. I trust them to constantly do what's best for our program, unquote. Toronto's identity is built on maturity, poise, and reliance on their system and each other, even through adversity. GM Kingsbury and Coach Ryan's calm assurance was evident as the team settled in during March, setting a city record with an 11-game win streak. Goaltender Kristen Campbell, who struggled early on, found her form and was named the league's top netminder by the season's end. Playing in the smallest arena in the league, which was Mattamy Athletic Center with a capacity of around 2,800 people, Toronto's fans contrasted sharply with the corporate ticket holders at Maple Leafs games. The energy in the building grew more upbeat as the teams gelled and found ways to win, ultimately finishing first in the league. Physical play was a cornerstone of Toronto's success. They excelled in making plays after they contact with one another, killing penalties, wearing down opponents, and being hard to play against. They also managed players' ice time wisely, relying on depth to keep everyone rested. Players like Jessie Koffer and Victoria Batch were crucial during late season games. Toronto entered the playoffs firing on all cylinders. The move to a larger Coca-Cola Coliseum seemed to suit them as they defeated their semifinal opponent, Minnesota, in the first 2 games. However, an unfortunate knee injury to Spooner in Game 3 tested the team's veteran poise. Without Spooner's confidence and reliability, the team's offense sort of dried up, leading to their defeat by the eventual Walter Cup champions. Despite not winning the championship, Toronto's identity as one of the league's strongest teams is still solidified. They continued their high standards at the draft, selecting forward Julia Grosso, Patty Kazmaier, award-winning Izzy Daniel, and hometown defender Megan Carter with the 6th pick in every round. The addition of free agent scoring star Daryl Watts from Ottawa and Emma Woods from New York further demonstrates that nothing less than the best is acceptable for PWHL Toronto. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, presented to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again, and have a wonderful day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to